Well, let me go with the good and the bad. So first of all, the statements that Secretary Blinken made right there were fantastic.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's what I've been saying for the longest time is how can you, if you want a ceasefire, if you want to stop innocents on both sides from dying, Hamas can surrender. Hamas can stop hiding behind babies, behind mothers, behind grandmothers. They can stop hiding behind their own civilians. By the way, this number probably needs to be updated, but as of last week, in the humanitarian zones that Israel set up, Hamas fired at least 116 rockets out of the zones that are supposed to be for their civilians. So it just, if you're a fighter, if you're a man and you're willing to hide behind a child so the child gets killed, not you, you're a disgusting piece of trash, right? You're worse. I don't even like calling Hamas to animals because I like animals. I like them. They're not worthy of being called
But it's
that.
a matter of consistency from the administration.
And here's the problem.
That's the problem.
2 weeks ago, the administration vetoed a resolution at the United Nations that would have condemned Israel. That was an important veto. They're the only country, the United Kingdom abstained. However, about 67% of the UN security resolutions, about 14 of them this year, have been against one country. Guess which country that is? The state of Israel. And so this is a country that has less than 1% of the world's population. And the Security Council is obsessively focused with targeting the only Jewish state. So good on the administration for vetoing that UN Security Council resolution. But what about putting one forward that calls on Hamas to surrender, on Hamas to stop hiding behind civilians? And the administration should go on a diplomatic campaign and to get countries around the world to call on Hamas to surrender. Secretary Blinken was right there. Israel is the victim. Hamas is the terrorist group. Why do we treat Hamas differently than the world treated Al-Qaeda or ISIS?
But more proactive democracy is what you're calling for. All right, we got another one for you. Hamas leader just releasing a video that thanked Canada, Australia, New Zealand for backing its calls for a ceasefire. The terror group calls it a step in the right direction. But Morgan, if a terrorist is thanking you, aren't you doing something wrong?
I love the background. If you watch the video, which don't even give it airtime, but if you did watch the video, you'd see that he has a picture, he's in Qatar. So he has a picture pretending like he is in the Palestinian territories behind the or in front of the mosque.
It's a fake. Even that is a fake.
It's like I sort of chuckled. I'm like, well, you're certainly not with your fighters, buddy. I'm pretty sure that you're getting, getting a massage every Tuesday where you're sitting and you made billions of dollars. Somehow, right, the poor Palestinian people, the aid never gets to them, but their leaders have become billionaires. It's amazing.
But it shows you what Canada is doing.
Right.
They're just playing into Hamas's playbook.
And don't forget that Hamas is a designated terrorist group in Canada. Canada also had at least 8 of their citizens killed on October 7th. So I agree with you entirely. If the terrorist group is praising you, you're probably not doing the right thing. What Canada, Australia, and all of our allies and friends need to be doing goes exactly into what you and I were just talking about. They should be calling for Hamas to surrender. They should be calling for them to step down. And by the way, a Gaza, a West Bank post this conflict, it will eventually end, cannot be with Hamas. So right, there used to be this political and humanitarian arm of Hamas and then the military arm. No Hamas, right? No military arm, no political arm. They have to cease as an organization in Gaza, and unfortunately they're also in the West Bank as well.
Morgan Ortagus, great to see you again. Thank you.